Итак, доброе утро.
Good morning. My name is Viktor Voloshin. I represent MSP Bank and federal state corporations supporting small and mid-sized businesses. The topic of my today's presentation is state support of high-tech enterprises and companies within the federal project Skyrocketing from startup to IPO. I'll tell you what it is, why the subject is so interesting and so promising for all companies that are anyhow connected with the high-tech industry. The federal project Skyrocketing from a startup to an IPO appeared recently in the year 22. This project has several levels of support rendered to high-tech companies. The goal of this support is to develop high-tech industry and all high-tech industries of this country. Actually, this federal project provides unique support measures that have no analog in the market. These support measures allow not only to provide state financing to high-tech companies, but also to get information support in sales, development, human resources, anything actually. Anything that is unique for our high-tech companies. So, what levels of support for high-tech companies exist? The first level of support. This is the case when a company has only an idea. It is only starting its work, no sales, no assets, only the idea. And at this stage, the government provides grants, and there are also federal development institutions such as Skolkovo, the Fund for Innovations Support, the Engineering Center. They provide grants to such companies. These grants can be of various levels, goals, sizes. And actually, the main goal of these grants is to allow the company to develop their product and enter the market. So the company could start its first sales and start developing. The second level of support within this federal project. Within this level, MSP Bank and MSP Corporation are involved. It means that the company has already reached some success. And if this company is in line with the criteria in the special decree established for supporting such companies, this legal entity gets an opportunity to receive finance and a loan at the rate of 3% per year for the period of up to 3 years. And at the third stage, another opportunity appears when the government, through various support institutions, allows the company to enter the market of public debt, for example, the market of bonds, and even IPO. And I will speak about that a bit. Now I'd like to be focused on the second level of support. It is provided by our bank to our clients. So this program has already been active for 2 years, and I'd like to remind you that lending to high-tech company is in line with the governmental decree 469 that was signed on the 29th of March 2022. And actually, we call this program and the companies that are connected with it, that are in line with the criteria of such support, we say that this is high-tech. Just a moment. So what is this program about? Now I'd like to tell you about its current parameters, and after that, I will tell you how it will change starting from the 1st of January next year, because there will be huge changes for the better. So our bank provides target loans for investment purposes or to replenish working capital up to 500 million rubles, up to 3 years, and the interest rate is 3% per year. And actually, for our bank, that is a support institute within this program rather than a classical bank. For our bank, the security isn't important because there are lots of state instruments allowing to secure such loan. So the state secures the loan so that the lender can use this loan funds even if this is an IT company and they have nothing but personnel. Even in that case, we can give the loan without a security. For example, there is umbrella guarantee provided by MSP Corporation, that is the mother company of our bank, provided for such a loan. This is a guarantee for the company. For the company, this guarantee is free. And the company doesn't need to collect a set of documents to receive that, because our bank does everything, pays for it, and prepares the documents. So to secure the loan, the company doesn't need to spend any resources. And I can announce the following. In the near future, if you've seen an article in Kommersant Journal, the register of small technological companies will be released. This register is really important. We were waiting for it for a long time, and all companies that received the measures of non-financial and financial support from any development institutions related to high-tech will be in the register. These can be Skolkovo Fund, the Bortnik Fund, Fund supporting innovations. It also can be Moscow Innovative Cluster. It can be our bank that provided such loans. So all the companies that received some support measures and whose revenue is up to 4 billion rubles will be in this register. And what does the register allow? Next year, the register, so the top bar up to 500 million rubles will be raised up to 1 billion rubles, because the change in Decree 469 has already been announced, and we hope that these changes will be active on the 1st of January 2024. Speaking about the register of small tech companies, actually I will share with you some more information later. So who can receive financing by this program? Actually, we can say that with regard to the latest events, financing can be granted to all industries in Russia that are somehow related to new developments. But first of all, the program is aimed at 16 high-tech areas. You can see them on the screen now. We interpret these areas in a wide sense. So if this is the Internet of Things, then any company that is somehow connected with IoT has a right to receive this loan. Indeed, there are some unique things here, such as quantum computations and quantum communications, but we welcome such companies. And we can see that there are some companies that start working in this area. The majority of companies related to the development of software follow such high-tech areas as artificial intelligence. There are some companies confirming that they work in the area of new communications and internet technologies, and some other companies. So once again, I would like to emphasize that these high-tech areas so there is some expertise that proves that, that a company should not think that it cannot get a support measure because it is not related to any high-tech area. These areas are evaluated by an expert, and in any case, it is possible to find an area where the company fits in. Although this is a unique program, and I would like to emphasize that in terms of working landing, so turnover landing, this is about any costs related to current activities, for example, payment of salaries to IT experts that take part in the current activities or in the development. So today, 3% per year taken into account, the key rate is the cheapest lending program in the market for replenishing working capital. And which criterion should a company meet today to get this subsidized lending at the rate of 3%? So today, this company should be an entity of small and mid-sized business registers. The average growth of revenue in this company for the last 3 years should be at least 12%. The company's revenue over the last calendar year should be at least 100 million rubles. The company should have the results of intellectual activities registered in Russian patent agency Rospatent. So we need to see this intellectual property in the balance sheet of the company. This can be a patent for an invention, for development, software. So I mean that anything apart from trademarks and know-how. A company that raises financing should not be a part of a unified group of a large business. So we understand that we cannot provide these cheap monetary funds to largest companies and large business. This program is aimed at new companies that develop in high-tech industry. And I would also like to point out that when a loan agreement in high-tech industry is made, the company should not have active loans following 1764 program. This is a program of the Ministry of Economic Development for priority industries, and within the decree of 1598, this is the program of a Ministry of Digitalization for IT companies. So how do we actually provide this financing? We check whether the company complies with all the criteria that I mentioned. And there is also a process for determining whether this legal entity is a high-tech company. And I would like to refer to the register of small tech companies. If a company is not in the register of small technological companies, then we conduct an expertise of whether this company is high-tech or not, engage in various institutions of development. The company provides to us specific documents according to application 3 and 4 of Decree 469. This is actually the list of documents confirming that this company spends money for developments, for research, for various high-tech activities, and it confirms that this company has intellectual property, and this intellectual property is demanded. Probably an export is possible, potentially, and many other factors. So if this company is in the register of small technological companies, then this high-tech status is assigned to this company automatically. If the company is not in the register of small technological companies, then at this stage, the company provides all the package of documents, and an expert council is conducted where the expert community votes to confirm that this is a high-tech company or that this is not a high-tech company. And at the same time, our bank evaluates the financial status of this legal entity and determines which limit can be set for the financing for this company at the current stage, and how the company will develop in future, and if it's possible to provide this loan to this company or it should be postponed.
Well, what are other preferences for small technological companies that would be included into this register? Well, we expect that these changes will become valid starting January next year. And this company, if it is a small company, high-tech company, it can get support even simply if it is in the register of SMEs. If it is included into the register, we're going to consider its revenue growth not for the 3 years but for the 2 years, and the minimum rate of growth should be not 12 but 10%. Once again, I want to emphasize that the high-tech status will be assigned to a company automatically, and the timing of this expertise is only 2 days. Now let's have a look at the next slide, and here are the documents that a company should submit to confirm its high-tech status. If it hasn't received before any kind of state support, then it should submit these documents. These are the documents confirming its products or technology used, innovative character with technology, and marketing documents that confirm the potential for the sales of the products or services of the company. How to apply for this financing? First of all, the company should go to the web portal msp.ru. It is supported by the MSP Corporation. The company applying for support finds a page for the high-tech business, and they submit their application. They have to upload certain criteria, and automatically it will be readdressed to our bank's platform. I want to underline that all the document flow is done in electronic form. We receive all the documents from the companies, everything, their submission, their reports, etc. Everything is filled in at our web portal, or the file can be attached. We do not require any paper documents. And our bank works successfully with all the regions of our country through this electronic workflow. And the only thing that a company should have, this is the authorized electronic signature. At this slide, we see how the application is processed in our bank. First of all, the company gets registered, then they provide the standard formal application, and then they fill in the questionnaire, and then they can choose the guarantee from the umbrella guarantee from the MSP Corporation, and then these documents, the bank verifies these documents, this document package, the completeness and the validity of these documents, and after that, bank is ready to take the decision on the financing. At each step of the application and the processing of this application in our bank, it is supported by the key account manager, private individual manager, that it is assigned to this particular client company. And on the basis of the experience that we have in the sphere of working with the high-tech companies, this customer manager will take the company along the whole process in order to recognize the company as a high-tech company. And now let us get back to the measures and the results shown by this program. As I've said before, despite the fact that the program is fairly complicated and it provides quite beneficial financing, nevertheless, the list of companies that can expect to receive the support of this kind includes some 10,000 companies in our country. However, all startups and all new projects, all companies that plan to develop in innovative way, they can get prepare themselves to receive this support. Practically every day we see the situation that many IT companies, new startups, simply do not know about the potential support measures they can receive. Although these support measures appeared only recently, they've already shown their efficiency, and sometimes a company simply comes for some support, but then they see that their business grows many times in a very short period of time. Also, our colleagues from the engineering center provide support. This is the center that provides the grants support to the companies that work with the biggest clients in our country. Among these client companies are Gazprom, Rosneft, and taking into account the import substitution policy, these big companies are trying to find the way to replace some imported components and services. So they go to our Russian manufacturers and service providers. These big companies sign a contract with potential supplier, and they get necessary services and products on the basis of this engineering, and the state provides grants for this cooperation. I also can say what was published already officially. There are some unique companies and I've mentioned the interest rate of 3%. There are already more than 150 companies that have obtained the financing with 3% interest rate, and we expect that by the end of the year there will be 200 or 250. As an example, a company that manufactures the network hardware, their operations grew several times, and in 22 their revenues grew from 2 billion rubles to 5 billion rubles. We see that some companies that before faced the issue of giving out the major part of their revenues to pay the loans from the banks, but now they can increase their capital assets through this subsidized financing. And we see also that this approach caused interest from other institutions of development, and these other development institutions also are helping the entrepreneurs. So we concentrate all measures of state support in the area of high-tech production. We're developing through this. We allow to develop to the companies that have very unique projects in our country, and some companies can even compete with major production giants, international giants. It is not a secret that our fintech companies and services is among the best in the world. Now, about the third stage of support, I would like to share some information about this, what we can do. And the company, at certain point, a company can reach a stage when they understand that it is not possible to get credited only from the banks. And they begin to think about the stock market. It is not possible to place their shares in the market. It is very difficult, and it is not efficient. So the companies of this kind begin with the initial project of bonds issuing. First, they attract financing, and the second, those who are in the stock market, they simply get to know these emitters. How our bank can help with this? First of all, our bank can act as an anchor investor when a debut bond issue is done by a company, and we as a bank can buy out from 30 to 50% of this emission. Let's assume that the company emit bonds for 200 million rubles, and our bank can buy out up to 100 million rubles of bonds. It means that all the stock market participants will see this demand for the bonds, and automatically they begin to consider buying these bonds, and the liquidity of this vehicle will grow strongly. Indeed, we have some customers. We cooperate them, and in their cases, their debut placement of their bonds was filled just in 1 or 2 hours. And the company understood that they will be able to place and to sell the whole offer of their bonds. You've heard quite a lot of news that the Russian companies begin their IPOs or pre-IPOs. You probably heard how the Astra company made their IPO. It was quite successful. What else? If a company goes public, what the government can offer? First of all, to compensate the bonds issuing. The second, to compensate coupon revenues up to 2/3 of the key interest rate. Let me remind you that the key interest rate from the central bank now is 15%, and up to 60% of the key interest rate can be compensated. And now, if we talk about the high-tech companies, I've finished my statement, and if you have any questions, you are welcome to ask them. Otherwise, if somebody wants to go into detail and discuss everything very thoroughly, I invite you to our MSP Bank stand. It is just one floor below this Congress Hall, and at any time today you will get the complete consultation. Thank you for your attention.
Any questions? Speaking about high-tech program, is it available only through MSP RF and MSP Bank, or will it cover other banks as well? Well, currently, MSP Bank is the only operator of this program. We actually launched a pilot program, and in the past, we did not have such stories in the market. I'd like to remind you that the criteria of this program are really complicated. So to test it, we were the only operator. And will other banks or other development institutions take part in this program in future? Well, I cannot forecast that now, and today we're able to cope with it by ourselves, and we provide all support measures to all companies that have a right for them. We are not only waiting for incoming flow, but actually we determined all companies that can meet the criteria of this decree, and we connect them by ourselves through such platforms and other development institutions. So probably in future it will be scaled up. I'm sure that this measure will be in demand in future as well, and there will be much more high-tech companies in Russia. Am I right that today this program is mostly focused on the companies that are already quite mature and already have specific product that are in the register? So it was confirmed that indeed that is about protecting sovereignty, import substitution, and other things. And what if there has already been successful experience, so transition from start-up to another stage, and is it obligatory for a company to get a grant from Skolkovo or another incubator to get to the second level for your support, or do they start from the second level already? Probably there are some support measures for startups, for micro businesses, apart from grants that are only starting, or it is obligatory to get a grant from Skolkovo. Skolkovo is not obligatory. Apart from Skolkovo, we have quite a lot of various platforms and technopolises, and when there is even no company, there's only a person and an idea, and they allow to grow this company into a full-fledged enterprise that already has sales. There are lots of platforms, their venture investments are provided. So if we compare it with other countries, it means that a community of investors looks for such ideas at the start that can be financed today to get profit in future. It's not only Skolkovo. There are lots of venture funds connected with large state corporations. Even in our family of legal entities and subsidiaries of MSP, there is Mir Venture Foundation. That is our separate fund. And at the start, when a company is being established, it allows to get some support measures. Besides, raising monetary funds, raising capital is not the goal, just to get funds. At this stage, these venture funds also help providing non-financial support measures. I'm speaking about training, of the owners, training of the people that develop this startup, when they understand how to conduct this business, how to continue working and developing. They determine the strategy for development. These support measures are just as important as monetary funds. And it's natural that a grant is also a very important story. I'd like to emphasize once again that in this country, starting with the year 22, the companies that provide grant support of development institutions became much more numerous. It is not as difficult as it was in the past to raise money for a new startup, new business. We just need to use these measures. Moreover, venture funds and investors that enter a startup business will help a new legal entity receive such support measures. That's why support measures for startups are numerous. Thanks. Colleagues, once again, in case you would like to talk about that in details, you can come to our booth, MSP Bank booth, and we're always online. You can always contact us.